Hi, I'm Rich Tehrani with the TMC Newsroom, and today we're going to interview John Scarano, who is the CEO and co-founder of the Zayo Group. How are you, John?
All right, Rich, how are you?
I'm doing very well, so tell us a little bit about your company, please.
Zayo was founded about 2 years ago. We have acquired 11 entities in the 2 years and raised about $340 million in debt and equity financing to fund these activities, excluding our most recent announcement. Our purpose and mission is to provide bandwidth services to customers in the geographies that we have acquired network to serve them.
So is that Tier 1 cities, Tier 2 cities? What sorts of cities are you in?
The geographies include Northeast down to Mid-Atlantic region, across the country to Midwest area, and then several islands throughout the rest of domestic United States, Minnesota, Tennessee, Pacific Northwest, and other regions.
Now, you recently got some financing, which in this economic environment is great. It's a great achievement. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, thank you. We are supported quite well by Tier 1 telecom investors that have limited partners, those that they invest with others in other transactions, who have joined the investment syndicate. The financing that was most recently done is 100% dedicated or allocated for future acquisition activities or extraordinary growth in the event we have large customer opportunity that requires enormous capital to develop it.
So define like a dream large customer opportunity that you might see.
A good example would be wireless carrier or other carrier that requires or that thinks of Zayo as an extension of its network, where we, on their behalf, are extending their reach, enabling them to reach their end users, allowing them to use their capital in other ways, and we achieve or receive a service payment, providing them bandwidth services, extending the reach of their network.
So how do international markets affect you at all?
Our customers, for the most part, do not include the PTTs, the non-domestic U.S. carriers. However, to answer your question, the international community wants more and more to receive or acquire large bandwidth capabilities in the United States tied back to their countries, their home countries. What Zayo can do for them, and is doing a little more than previously, is allowing them to reach from the landing station locations on the East Coast in particular into the country.
So competitively, is it the ILECs that are the biggest impediment to growth or the biggest competitor?
We're fortunate that bandwidth demand across the board is growing. So all boats are rising with the tide. Incumbents and competitive carriers alike are seeing more growth. So I would say the impediment to growth is well, frankly, a general concern of the economy. If the economy slows in a way that affects bandwidth consumption, the pie will not get as large as quickly as we hope it will. But otherwise, because we are a carrier's carrier, if to the extent carriers would choose to build out networks themselves as opposed to rely on Zayo or other competitive providers, well, that would certainly impede our growth as well. But capital is king and scarce in these days, so we're seeing that even more growth coming from our customers asking us to build out farther into the country.
Okay, and so how many carriers now are you interconnected with? Or can you say?
Oh, sure I can say. I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Approximately 40, which really does not exclude any carrier. So we serve all of the large incumbents, wireless and wireline carriers, and many of the competitive carriers as well.
Okay, so these service providers will pay you per minute, basically, to terminate calls. Is that how the agreement works?
Good question. In the old days, that is how pricing structures would have been managed. Zayo actually has 3 business units. The Zayo Bandwidth business unit charges prices based on total size of pipe. The larger the amount of bandwidth that can travel through, the larger the fees, typically. Zayo Managed Services, the second of 3 units, provides applications-based products. Although they do not charge on a per-minute basis, they are more traditional telephone-oriented products, which include video conferencing, managed hosting, voice over IP traffic, so voice communications using IP interconnection. Our third business unit, Envoy Voice Services, actually is a traditional, what's called a TDM-based business, and that is a usage-based business where we do charge by the minute.
Now, how does peering affect you, or voice peering affect your business at all?
Well, peering is a network function that connects many eyeballs that want to see content with the content in an efficient, low-cost way. And Zayo is not a Tier 1 network peer provider. In other words, there are a handful of Tier 1 peers that do not charge each other for that interconnection, enabling eyeballs to connect with content. However, the pricing for internet connectivity for the non-Tier 1s has fallen so low that while we provide some internet service, not very much, we've enjoyed the benefit of a much lower cost structure to connect to the internet.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with John Scarano, who is the COO and co-founder of the Zayo Group. John, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rich. Really, thanks very much.